Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone 0, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. This week, of course, is the patch that we've all been waiting for, which will be going live on the 17th, so Wednesday morning / Tuesday night, depending on where you are in the world. Of course, with the new patch, there are a lot of things to look forward to. One of those is the Steam release of Zenless Zone 0, and to commemorate this release, there's actually yet another new redemption code that you can use for some polychrome, and that is ZZZSTEAM. But either way though, in order to prepare yourself for the new patch, don't forget that leading up to the launch time, you will also be able to pre-download the patch beforehand. That will let you jump into the game as soon as possible, before heading to bed or when you wake up in the morning. But of course, once the new patch does come up, we will be having the new banners for Velina and her signature engine, as well as a rerun banner for Yexing Wang and her engine. But even if for some reason you aren't going to be pulling on the new banner, everyone will also be getting a free S-rank agent in the form of Pyroys, which will come in the in-game mail alongside some polychrome too. And you'll be able to get more mindscapes for Pyroys, as well as copies of the signature engine as you progress throughout the main story. And to upgrade both of these new agents, don't forget that there are going to be all new routine cleanup stages for the 2 new disc sets, as well as new combat simulation stages for the brand new wind element chips that you will need to upgrade Velina. Once you are done upgrading your new toys though, the other new content that you can enjoy with the new patch include of course the brand new story, A Sleepwalker's Confession, the new permanent mode featuring the auto chess minigame with the Bangboos, the Genius and the Miracle Chip, which you should try to progress through as there are some daily rewards that you will be able to claim too, as well as the Assemble Mock Exam Comeback Plan, which is the Toho-like event which you can complete to earn some copies of a free A-rank engine. And also at some point in this first week, we will also be getting that new hardcore game mode, the Annihilation Simulacrum. Otherwise, the one thing that will never change is our regularly scheduled Deadly Assault reset that is happening this Friday. And for those of you with the monochrome available for it, the Velina skin, the Shade of Leisure, will be on sale for the duration of this patch at a discount, after which it will go back at full price once the patch is over. Otherwise, in terms of patch 3.0, that is all of the new stuff this week with many more to come. Of course, don't forget that next patch 3.1 is also going to be a pretty big one, since it's going to be the 2-year anniversary for Zenless Zone 0. Speaking of game anniversaries though, there is one other game celebrating its anniversary right now. This video is sponsored by Ensemble Stars Music, which is celebrating its 4th anniversary with a huge celebration event running in 2 parts starting June 7th and June 12th. One of the highlights is the new Anniversary Scout featuring the 5-star Marvelous Future version of Tsukasa Suo, complete with a limited music video outfit, room outfit, and dynamic card effects. Plus, throughout the anniversary, players can claim up to 120 free scouts just by logging in and collecting special 10 scout tickets. There are also daily free scouts and revival scouts featuring some of the previous theme, shuffle, and featured scout options, as well as special guaranteed 5-star scout opportunities for players looking to strengthen up their roster. The anniversary also introduces the Myriad Rustle of Wishes, where you can spend BP to earn wish leaves and exchange rewards for things like scout tickets, diamonds, anniversary chibi cards, outfits, and more. Alongside that is the Wishes Come Together event, where collecting wish shards lets you light up the wish tree to unlock memorial cards and additional stories. And finally, players can participate in the 4th anniversary live by voting for their favorite songs, unlocking unit meet and greets, and earning limited anniversary titles. If you're already a producer or you're just curious about checking out Ensemble Stars Music, this anniversary celebration is a great time to jump in. Download Ensemble Stars Music and join the 4th anniversary today using the links in the description below. Moving on to social media news though, of course there have been plenty of things coming out for Season 3 and Roscalifer, as well as the various Velina promotional videos and demos. Unfortunately, there aren't any Velina promo video campaigns, but there is a campaign for the City of Bangbu Awaits You, giving a warm welcome to Roscalifer. By simply clicking on the image in the linked tweet below to take a Bangbu test, you can then share the results from that test alongside the corresponding hashtags, and you could stand a chance to win some polychrome, a Bangbu plush, or even an Xbox wireless controller. And as a reminder, the Return to Redo event is still underway, so if you know of anybody else that is getting back into the game, be sure to have them use your event code so that both you and your friend can earn some rewards as they play. And then moving on to the speculation zone, we have a last minute buff that has been applied for wind in patch 3.0, and that is an increase on the duration of windswept, the new wind anomaly. It's up from 20 seconds to a whopping 30 seconds, a pretty significant 50% increase. Once again, if you aren't considering pulling for Velina, they are really positioning her and wind in general to be a pretty game-changing thing with all of these changes and buffs to them, alongside the interactions and the lead up to a lot of new anomaly changes as well, in terms of buffing older anomaly agents and releasing more new anomaly agents too. Speaking of buffing older anomaly agents though, last week we mentioned the quote-unquote possibility of potential upgrades for Jane, Rina, and Nekomata coming in patch 3.1, but now these are all but confirmed, because we have the potential unlock arts for all three of them now too. But speaking of Nekomata specifically, we also have a video showcasing what she will be capable of with her potential unlock. As you can see in the clip here, she has that new gauge that lets her teleport behind an enemy instantly to get that backshot damage, and her EX special now has also been changed slightly so that there is no initial jump startup on her EX attack. She just instead launches it instantly as she leaps off the ground. Personally, it would have been really cool if the EX also somehow teleported her behind the enemy, but remember there is a part of her potential unlock that will make it so that any attacks are considered backshots, so she doesn't really need that on her EX. But I am hoping that this instant EX attack does fix one of her biggest flaws, which was her whiffing the attack because of its incredibly short range combined with that small little startup. Sometimes you'd use the EX and in that small windup, the enemy would move ever so slightly and then you would whiff the attack. Another thing found in the patch 3.1 betas is the potential for another new multiplayer event or even permanent game mode. It's kind of cryptically translated at the moment, but one main takeaway is the agent loot and extract part. This, alongside the hundreds of new items that have been added into the game's code, would imply that this would be something similar to the current Bangbu extraction game mode that we have in 2.8, but instead with actual agents this time. Remember, the devs do love testing out future permanent game modes by trialing them out in events. I mean, look at the Bangbu Auto Chess permanent mode that we're getting in 3.0 compared to the two events we had in Season 2. And the reason for this being considered multiplayer possibly is that a lot of the new items added into the game that could relate to this new game mode are the same special agent gears that we had in the previous multiplayer mode. The description described this as a brand new weekly thing, so maybe it will replace the Hollow Zero mode, or it could be another extra side mode that we do every week. Time will tell. And for that new Deadly Assault hard mode that we were concerned about last week, maybe some good news depending on how you feel about this mode, but the rewards for clearing the harder version of Deadly Assault does not include polychrome, so you won't feel paywalled out of extra polychrome depending on how difficult this mode is. Instead, the rewards are all related to your proxy profile. Achieving 1 star gets you a special title, 2 stars gets you a profile name card, and 3 stars gets you a special dynamic avatar. This is probably a good thing in my opinion, because this means that for the more casual players, they won't need to feel gatekept out of extra rewards, and because of that, I kind of want to see the devs make this mode really challenging to push the hardcore players to go to their limit so that those rewards are actually, special. Something really sweaty that they could do, but I'm sure they won't do it though, is hand out rewards based on the global percentage where people finish. I mean, they already have the ranking system in terms of percentage placement in the Deadly Assault mode, but imagine it was something like the Blue Archive raids, where if you're in the top X percentage, you get a platinum title, if you're in the top Y percentage, you get gold, and so on and so forth. But of course, that would mean that only a limited number of people can get the titles, which is probably going to be a bad thing, and it would incentivize a lot more competitive whaling between the players. So actually, hopefully they don't do that then. Let everybody get a title just for completing the 3 stars that they set out, as opposed to turning the players against each other. Let it be the players against the devs, effectively speaking. But of course, as it stands right now, we don't really know how difficult or how easy this hard mode Deadly Assault will be. But I am glad that it isn't something that casual players need to stress about, if they don't want to. But what are your thoughts though? I suppose you could argue that not getting any polychrome at all also kind of sucks. But also, how many of you are going to be pulling for Velina and her engine? Let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, if you made it to the end of this video, leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing is greatly appreciated. Till next time though, bye bye!